ask our girl to look at shorty, da 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 da. And then if you got a girl uh, that's self-aware, she'll look with you. Um, so I don't know how much of that is scripted, but that's wild. It ain't. I mean, she just being honest. It seemed like as long as you ain't cheating. Um, but it said that she cheated or whatever. So if that's the case, because money can't unlame you.
You keep seeing these stories of these females, man. They pretty much shitting on them every chance they get. They don't respect them. They don't really be there for the reasons that they want them to be. But they're getting upset with the internet because the internet is seeing it from the outside
I'll
looking
rate
in,
him.
saying, "Bro,
I mean, he's a 10.
A 10.
He's a 10.
What?
He's a 10.
So what am I? From what I see in the memes, girls goon over him.
I could not fault him physically the way he looks. I cannot find anything I would say, oh, he needs to improve. What does it get better? Like, I mean, I can't fault him. He's a young guy. He looks good. I think he's tall. I don't know how tall is he. He has a perfect face.
Perfect face.
He does. Like, he has a good jawline. He has good nose. Everything is perfectly balanced. So
You won't be collabing with it, sounds like.
I'll rate him. I mean, he's a 10. I can, but it's Myron. He says, I see trouble in a rose. And that was like the second or third time he DM'd me and sent his message because I never replied. And at that time, this was like I don't know, a year after we got engaged, and I had our engagement picture on a profile, and he's still trying to slide in my DMs. I can, but it's Myron. He said,
So what you're saying, if I didn't have money and status and I approached you, I would have gotten left on scene.
Yes.
Or maybe an unopened message in your DM.
Yes. I dated once a brokey, lost 4 years in my relationship of my life.
So what you're saying, if I didn't have money.
all right, I'm gonna stop there. You get the point." So he married this woman. He didn't get a prenup, and the internet is coming for him, man. What are we doing here, man? Is he foolish for not getting a prenup? What are we doing with these men who make all of this money? Matter of fact, let me rephrase that. How do you feel about guys who aren't used to being around women? They come into this fame and fortune, and then they get a taste of success. They start to dress nicer. They start to ride around more fresh. They start getting introduced to the type of female that they could never really attract before. Now they're getting them. And you keep seeing these stories of these females, man. They pretty much shitting on them every chance they get. They don't respect them. They don't really be there for the reasons that they want them to be. But they're getting upset with the internet because the internet is seeing it from the outside looking in, saying, "Bro, what are you doing? Wake up." Like, what did you see from this clip, man? How do you feel about that? Jason salutes. Oh, the whole thing.
Shout out, Chef. I got you right here. You always in the mix, baby. See, real quick. Give them their flowers. I don't know how much of it is scripted. I know that men do it all the time. You know what I'm saying? We look. We'll look and be like, yo, look at shorty, da 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 da. Ask our girl to look at shorty, da 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 da. And then if you got a girl that's self-aware, she'll look with you. So I don't know how much of that is scripted, but That's wild. It ain't. I mean, she just being honest. It seemed like as long as you ain't, as long as you ain't cheating. Um, but it said that she cheated or whatever. So if that's the case, because money can't unlame you. Um, Matter of fact, the biggest thing about the money is whatever you was before that, it just brings it all the way out. You know what I'm saying? So um, it's one thing to be talking and acting on it. So now if she's talking, that's one thing. Because like I said, it'll be a double standard if we ain't admit that men do it all the time. Um, but if she's acting on it, then he's cooked. You know what I'm saying? She's not for him.
I hate social media sometimes because you get influencers and folks that got blue checks and they're a regular to the audience, like them. That's like a household name for a lot of you. So instinctively you see their name pop up on your timeline, you're gonna go and watch and click and see what they're doing because you want to know if it's going to be an exciting day, if it's going to be educational, if it's going to be drama. And what I dislike about these is, like you said, you don't know sometimes if this is legitimate or not, or if this is just for an act. It's just performative because I have to provide you guys with a service. What does that service look like? Well, for some people, y'all might like slapstick comedy. For other people, you might want to see someone dance for the next 10, 15 minutes. Some of you might like to see men and women argue with each other for an hour. And so it's like you see stuff like this, and it's like, all right, is this another one of those fake internet couples that's really, they have no contribution whatsoever other than, all right, he's a bodybuilder, she's a model, and blah blah blah. It's the same Barbie and Ken shit. If any of that is real, which if I'm going to go off of that, you've seen it once, you've seen it 1,000 times, right? The rich guy gets the beautiful body made up girl, or the gym rat. Both of them are gym rats. They love attention. They love being in front of the camera. So by societal standards, it makes sense. But the whole time, I get the impression that she's not necessarily into him the way that he thinks she is. And I think he knows that. And if he doesn't know that, then I think it's bullshit that he's pretending as if he doesn't know. Now, if he's just knowingly going along with this whole storyline that, oh, she's using me for this, that, that, third, I think that's corny as hell too. But she said in another clip, and this is why I be thinking this shit is just troll. She said in another clip, she wants her daughter to be a gold digger. Word for word. I am going to raise my child to be a gold digger. Light bulb went off in my head. Either she's doing this for clicks and views, or she really means what the hell she's saying. Because she just admitted here, oh, nah, I wouldn't fuck with you if you didn't have the money. So it's like, all right, well, so what are we doing with that? It's sad, man. It's like, my brother, you don't have the self-esteem you don't have the confidence to meet somebody that actually is going to pour into you the way that you would like. What is it with people wanting to be with IG models and like, I don't understand that shit.
Everybody want a baddie, man. Talking about, man, you know, you was a kid, man. Everybody wanted a baddie. If you didn't wake up, or if you wasn't raised by militant or let's say pro-black people, a lot of times you wanted a different. You wanted a white chick or you wanted an Asian. You know, a lot of I remember the bros, and I was in that stage for a certain point too, where I was like, well, I'm gonna get an Asian like I went to war, or you know, until you learn that self-love. You know what I'm saying? But regardless of what, you know, your first dream all the time is to have a dime piece by your side. So with that, you know, I don't know, I can't really see her or whatever, but it appears that he got a little baddie, you know, and a lot of times she's seemed like she's high maintenance or whatever and feisty. You know what I'm saying? So probably look good, and then definitely for the camera, that make them look real good. You know what I mean? So like I said, for the show's sake or whatever, you could talk. You know, to me, it's no different from say I'm watching a movie with my lady and we watching Denzel. You know what I'm saying? She gonna probably be looking like, oh, yo, that's Denzel right there, like, ooh, ooh, ooh. And it would be the same if I was watching a movie with, say, Halle Berry. Be like, oh, she bad. You know what I'm saying? Like, but at the end of the day, we know where we coming. We know what we going home to. You know what I'm saying? I probably wouldn't necessarily go as far to be on camera and be like, well, you know what? Halle Berry was that joint. I would try to talk to her or rather like I ain't gonna, you know what I mean? Be disrespectful like that. But at the same time, you know, just they I guess she appeared to be honest, you know what I'm saying? Clearly she liked the bros. And if all of that gold digger stuff, you know, we talked about that last week or a couple of weeks ago. Can't remember exactly, but I ain't never had a whole lot of money. I never had. I still have yet to cash a check. Like the checks that's sitting in my head anyway. They in my head. In my head, I'm a multi-millionaire. And I'll speak it into existence for the show, you know, right here, because I'm sure working on it. But at the same time, if that's what you're with me for, because I got a little paper, then it ain't gonna work. You know what I'm saying? Because my uncle used to tell me all the time. He used to say, "Yo, you can only do certain things for about 4 or 5 hours a day at the most. After that, what are you going to talk about when the joy runs out, when the fun is over? What is going to be the conversation? What is going to be the plan? What is going to be the teamwork? What are you going to be doing?" And it's the same for money. You know what I'm saying? Like, if the money ran out, would you still love me? And if the answer is no, then that ain't your one. You know what I'm saying? I don't care. And I understand, you know, you gotta be a provider. You know what I mean? But money come and go. So at the end of the day, you know, if she's just with him for that, then she's cooked and he's cooked, because after a while, once you get, you know, you go around going around, ain't nobody gonna want her no more. And eventually he'll wise up, you know what I'm saying, and disassociate himself with that, because when you're dealing with people like that, if that's the case, because like I said, I don't know them, then it's a never ending hole. It'll never be enough. It's never enough. It's never enough. So you walking around frustrated, you know, all because she's pretty and she think that she can change the weather.
The whole idea that your life is going to change for the better just because you lock in with somebody with money, it always interests me how some people's minds work. considering I've seen time and time again that shit does not necessarily work for everybody. In fact, I don't think I've really seen too many people in Hollywood or in the industry successfully navigate the perils of a relationship and made it through it unless they stayed off of camera. Like you know that they married, but they hardly ever are out in public where paparazzi is in their face or they're on social media constantly uploading their entire life up there. What I do keep seeing is celebrities, athletes, commentators, anybody with